So Bongo Ideas has finally dropped the ordeal he went through after he was picked up by certain people who are neither the Ghana police nor the national security. So the last time anybody heard from Bongo Ideas was on the 13th of March after he made certain posts about the First Lady of Ghana. We all know Akufo-Addo celebrated his wife, that is President Nana Akufo-Addo celebrated his wife, Madam Rebecca Akufo-Addo, and Bongo Ideas made certain comments that a lot of people warned him about, that you know what, this is certainly going to get you into trouble, because though you criticize people, you don't care about the feelings of people. This time it seems you've stepped on the wrong toes of somebody. He never took it down. The next day, all that we heard was that Bongo Ideas has been picked up by certain people who are neither Ghana police. No, first people were pointing fingers at Ghana police and the national security. But these two institutes came out to clear the air that we've not picked up Bongo Ideas. We don't even know what his whereabouts. Or we called the sister. Okay, the Ghana police was like, they called the sister, and then his sister was like, Bongo Ideas is at home resting. National security denied picking up Bongo Ideas. And the man himself has come out to he has posted a very lengthy post that all the ordeal he went through. I mean, if you finish listening to this, it's like just like a Nollywood or a Hollywood movie. I am sure if we get the likes of Rasinene and then Lowen on it, they can equally act this movie very well, because this is a script. This is a script that Bongo Ideas has written. Some find it very hard to believe, but I don't know what you are going to think about. So this morning, yesterday he had an interview with DW, and then he revealed certain things. This morning, he decided to put it in text on his social media pages. He has created a new Twitter page that he has decided to use, because according to him, the old one, they've changed the password, and then he doesn't know how to get into it. So he has created a new one, and this is where he has put in whatever he went through. So this is what he wrote. He said, "This is what I went through. 1. On the dawn of Thursday, March 14th, 2024, around 2 to 3 a.m., while I was just dozing off in my couch, a group of suspected police officials invaded my home." So around 2 to 3, you were on your couch, not on your bed. And then you sleep in your couch. And maybe he was working. Immediately, the entire household and some tenants in the house woke up to ask for their mission. They bluntly refused to answer them and moved straight to my door to break in. They banged in the first door tenaciously and eventually broke it open with full combat force. I woke up to check what was happening. There and then, I was hit in the face so hard, pinched to the floor, knees on my back and neck like George Floyd. We all know what happened to George Floyd. And I was cuffed. I asked what my crime was, and the reply I received was 3 heavy slaps from the supposed officials who were brandishing a rifle and pistols. They dragged me back to my bedroom, ransacked it hurriedly, then took my iPhone 12 Pro Max, MacBook Pro 2020 M1, my MTN TurboNet router, itel, Yam phone, and all my IDs, including my Ghana card, Visa cards, Voters ID, and NHIA card. All my charges were also taken. Were also taken. In a Rambo style, I was dragged like a wanted fugitive into a minivan that looked like a police vehicle with no number plates. This is funny, but let's go to the 2. He then continued, He continued by saying, when the household requested for which station they were taking me to, they reluctantly said Central. Further questions from the fear-stricken crowd were ignored. Immediately, I was pushed into the vehicle. I was blindfolded and a cover was put over my head. I was then subjected to severe physical abuse by this man, who then revealed to me that they weren't sanctioned police officers. One of the men said verbatim, You are stupid for insulting my mother and you pay for it with your life. When you look at me, do I look like an ordinary police officer? I mustered courage and asked who his mother was. He went berserk and reacted instantly by slapping me on the face multiple times and hitting me in the abdomen. I let out a yell of pain. The car traveled for a while and a call came purportedly asking them to take a detour. I was then told that they were taking me to a river to put bullets in my head and dump me. One of the men said, "Let's just finish him off here and dump his body into the water. Nobody will even notice." I was told to say my final words as they pointed the erected pistols in my head. I went blank. After the men paced up and down for a while, contemplating on what to do to me when I'm eventually rendered lifeless, they somehow decided to put me back into the car. Hey, Bongo Ideas are money. I'm telling you, this is like just like Nollywood or Hollywood. It gets interesting as time goes on. They said to me that they would be taking me to northern region where I would be killed and be buried silently without a trace. One said in Chi, "We will add you to the accident victims and bury you en masse." Just like en masse, like the way they bury accident victims who are not being identified, they bury them mass burial. I was then transported to an unknown location where I was carelessly pushed up a flight of stairs while I was still blindfolded and in cuffs. I hit my head against the pillars several times. One of the men said in Chi, "Commander, we have brought him." The commander asked me to kneel and review my passwords. I refused, and once again I received blows to my face, kicks to my tummy, and slap to my back. I finally succumbed. I asked that my items be given back to me after they are done with the search, cause I have nothing incriminating on them. The reply I sharply got was whether I wanted my items back or whether I wanted my items back or I wanted my life back, and I said both. Subsequently, I was taken out and down and then put into a different car, other than the first V8 that brought me. I was taken to another unknown location, still in cuffs and blindfolded. After some minutes of a rough ride, I was given to another set of unknown individuals who took me to a room and locked me up. Bongo Ideas Amanihu 1 and 2. This is just a movie. After hours of being cuffed at my back, the metals started eating into my flesh and I was feeling excruciating pain. I asked that the cuffs be made more flexible and that they should take me to the law court and charge me if I had committed any crime. Nobody was present to answer me, I realized. Due to the bad stench in the room, I threw up a couple of times. I could not sit nor stand. I leaned. I was sweating profusely with my face swollen like a thief who had been subjected to mob violence. I laid on my side in that cold room for more than 8 hours. I only heard distant chatter and approaching footsteps. Nobody said anything to me or told me why I was there. At a point, I feared for my life considering the fact that I was cuffed and powerless, bundled into a room and blindfolded, and didn't know if I were a sacrificial lamb being taken to the slaughterhouse. Later on, I was picked up like a log and put in another vehicle. This vehicle drove for a short while and then I was given a new set of individuals. These individuals dragged me by the collar of my shirt and pushed me into their car. A new cover was put over my blindfolded face, which made it difficult for me to catch my breath. Located silently, I sat in the middle of two men at the rear who pinched my legs to the carpet of the car with what felt like guns. My knees were hit from time to time as we journeyed. They said no word and the interior of the car felt like a Toyota V8 or an SUV. These men drove me for over 30 minutes until they got to their destination. Then I was brought out and pushed into a room. A man came to give me further instructions and warning and said, "Why do you insult the president of the country? A small boy like you should not have the audacity to criticize the president. If the economy is not working, does it call for insults? All your other friends will also be picked up and be disciplined in due time. Then one of the boys subjected me to immense physical torture by hitting my cuffed hands with a stick until they became numbed. More slaps followed with every word that he said. My chin was hit until it started to bleed. Then the hot words continued. He was like, "How much have you taken from the opposition? How much has Mahama and the NDC paid you to publish what you published? Tell us now." Mention their names. I had no answers for them, and that wasn't my plight. I was beaten to a near pulp. Then I was taken back into the vehicle. I am telling you, this whole thing about Bongo Ideas is just like a Nollywood movie. We should get Lil Wayne and then, sorry, it's just like a Gollywood movie. We should get Lil Wayne and then Akabeneza or Rasnene to act it for us, because this is very interesting. He continued, said they got out, switched off the AC and closed the door. The heat in the car made me shout for help. I was literally losing my breath. All this while, I was still cuffed and blindfolded. Then one of the men suggested that I be dropped at an unknown place at night. A new suggestion to drive me around for hours was rather taken. I asked where I was, and one said, "You are somewhere in the eastern region." Subsequently, the cuffs were removed. My swollen wrists and hands hung loosely. I was tied up again with a rope at my back, at the back, and pushed into the car. After several minutes of ride, I was brought out and abandoned in a forest near a path. They drove off speedily. I shook, nodded my head vigorously until the blindfold started to loosen up. They had taken the cover off the blindfold, so it took me nearly a minute or so for it to drop off my face and eyes. I saw light for the first time since dawn. I then picked up a stone to cut the rope. Though it seemed impossible, I persisted until a good Samaritan, an Okada rider, felt pity, judging by my state, and brought me back home. He gave me his helmet and made me sleep on his back while I pointed out the directions to him. He later revealed to me that where I was dropped off by the kidnappers was Boteman Racecourse. Aye. Bongo Ideas are money 1 and 2. Anyway, let's continue. A day after, I went to the Sotuom police station to file a report and to write a statement. My family had already done that after visiting all police stations and not finding me the day before. I was subsequently admitted to the hospital. The police are currently investigating the incident, so I would like to keep the details thereof from the public. What details again? You've already given us everything. All the logins to my social media handles have been compromised and changed. The password to my iCloud, Google and Twitter accounts have been altered, so I can't log in. Also, I had to get a police extract in order to get a Ghana card replacement, so to get my SIM card back, which ultimately helped me to log into my Instagram and Facebook accounts. I am working to get my Twitter and Google accounts back, but in the meantime, my new Twitter handle is Bongo Ideas 247. Thanks for the kind consent as I strive to make full recovery back again as soon as I can. Ghana is not safe. Then he ended by saying, Albert Nathaniel Ni Okain Tete Hyde, aka Bongo Ideas. So yeah, there you have it. That is whatever Bongo Ideas claim to have gone through in the hands of certain people that we don't know. Whether it was the national security, whether it was the Ghana police, we don't know who picked them up. But according to him, that is what he went through in the hands of his kidnappers.